We are officially live. How you doing? This is DJ Spanju, and I'm really excited to be here with you tonight as we look at how you can create massive profits through the power of your book in 2018. I'm just going to give us a few minutes to come in, so I'll just wait for about a minute, and then we're going to get into things very, very quickly. But I do promise you that we're going to be here together for about 15 minutes or thereabouts. But we're really going to be going deep into some really useful and exciting stuff that's really going to help you to really harness your passion and your expertise as a writer and really use it to turn things around in a very powerful and positive way in 2018. So if you're a person who's been asking yourself, you know what, I want to make next year really different for me. I love to write. I enjoy writing. And I really would love to find a way to maximize the income potential. Well, the next 15 minutes are going to be absolutely phenomenal because I'm going to be sharing some things with you that are literally going to blow your mind, but also empower you to go out there and really, do some really phenomenal stuff. Okay, right, great. So now, books are really great. Books are really, really great, and every one of us can talk about one or two books that literally change their lives. I mean, for me, I'm an avid reader of books. I've read thousands of books in the personal development space over the last 15, over the last, it's a very long time, over the last 20 years or so. Before then, I was very much into my fiction. I used to read a lot of fiction as a young person, as a child, growing up into my 20s. And then in my 20s, I really got into personal development and personal growth and business and leadership and spirituality, Christianity, and I really began to invest in reading. I became an avid reader. I have read so many books. And basically, I wrote my first book, right? I wrote my first book in the year 2000, called 9 Keys to a Lifetime of Achievements. And I must say it was a very, very interesting situation. Okay, I'm a little unsure right now because I have gone live. I'm just going to do something very quickly because I got a message saying I can go on now, but I am, which means for some reason, even though I'm live, it doesn't seem to show that I'm live. Let me check. Just give me a moment because I have no idea what is going on right now. Okay, bear with me. I am live. I am live. I am live. Just bear with me. I'm live. Pen and Ink Masters. Okay, just bear with me. I have no idea what's going on. So I'm just checking with Emeka. Here, I tagged you. Okay, so I have no idea, and actually it's kind of weird because I can't see, well, I wouldn't really know if anyone has joined us here. So I'm not sure what's going on. So, okay, so I finally got one person on, so I'm not panicking anymore. I wasn't sure what was going on. So, okay, great. So we are live. Awesome. So let's get into this. Oh, brilliant, brilliant. Yeah, so I was talking about books, and I wrote my first book in the year 2000, 9 Keys to a Lifetime of Achievements. And I was really, really blessed. I remember the very first time ever where someone bumped into me on the street, and they came up to me, and they literally came up to me on the street, and they said, "Hey, hello." And I'm like, "Hello? I don't know you, but hello." And he said, "I really wanted to say thank you." I'm thinking, okay, thank you. That's a good thing. But what have I done? And then this person went on about my book and how they'd read my book and how it had really made a big difference for them. And hey, Mecca, thank goodness you're on because I was really worried, right? And they talked about how it had made a big difference for them. And I was really, I must say, I was humbled. I wrote that book because, alongside my desire to go out there and really make a difference in people's lives, and to have that person come to me that day. It was literally on the streets of Lagos at the time. And this person comes up to me, and I didn't know them, and they talked about, I don't know how they recognized me. They've read my book. "Hey, Peter, how you doing?" Right? And he'd read my book, and it made a big difference for him. And he came to give me that feedback. And honestly, that for me was worth everything I'd invested in writing that book at the time. I'm going to be upfront and say, I wish I would say, you know what, then that book turned into profits for me. No. I actually struggled to sell that book. It was, I knew nothing about marketing at the time. I just wanted to help people. And that's probably where many of you here are right now. Maybe what drives you primarily is this desire and this passion to really help people, to just help people improve in the area of your expertise and your passion. However, it just may be that from a business or a profitability perspective, it's not really working for you right now. You get people who say thank you. You get people who appreciate your blog posts. You get people who appreciate the things you share, the knowledge you share, the posts you put out there on social media. You get people who've read your book and they've benefited from your book. They've given you feedback. They've tagged you on social media. They've contacted you via private message to say thank you to you and appreciate you for the difference that you're making. However, one thing that may not be happening for you right now is, yeah, but I wish I was making the money alongside all of this. And that's okay, because that's what tonight's really all about. You see, I don't believe that there is anything out there for those of us who work in our space that gives us more credibility and establishes our authority like a book. There's something about having a book that is published, where people open it up, leafing through the pages, and that book has your name on it. People read through the book, they experience, the insights and the knowledge and the wisdom that changes the way they see things, changes the way they see life, and changes their perception and helps them to start making changes in their lives. And that happens because of a book that you've read. That you wrote. I know books that have transformed me in so many different ways. Books like How to Win Friends and Influence People. Books like Developing the Leader Within You by John Maxwell. Books like The Invisible Selling Machine by Ryan Deiss. There's just a ton of them. I've read thousands of books over the years. And all of these books have touched and empowered me in some way or another. And isn't it amazing when your books do the same thing for other people? Right? There's nothing that is as powerful and as amazing. So the big question is, if our books make a big difference in people's lives, and if our books touch people in a powerful way, then what is the reason why so many authors are still broke? And this is a question that I really need us to think about for a moment. What is the reason why so many brilliant writers, authors who share wisdom and insights that make a difference in people's lives, why are they still broke? What's the reason why writers? In fact, the truth is, if you call yourself a writer, it's not too different from a musician, right? When you call yourself a musician or you call yourself a writer, people just think, yeah, musicians are usually broke. Writers are usually broke. And they say things like, go and get a real job, right? You're a writer? Right. Go and get a real job. You're a musician? Right. Go and get a real job. It's just a typical thing. It's just that, writers are associated with, I do this because I love it, but we're not making money from it. That's just typical with writers. And why is that the case? And I'm really going to help you understand that. You see, a book on its own, right, carries great value. This is one of my old books. It's called the Accelerated Learning Handbook. If there's anybody who's into training, this is a very good book to get, by the way, right? It's a very, very good book to get. If you are into training and you train people, I encourage you to get this book. I bought this book over 10 years ago, and it's designing brilliant training programs that transform. Now, when I say training, I mean classroom-based training. So having people in the room, not online, then this book is a must get, right? So a book like this has great value. This has helped me a great deal in my career. What I learned from this book has definitely helped me to earn over 6 figures in pounds, this book, right? Now, however, if you're going to buy this book in the market, you're probably not going to get it for more than £20. Right? In fact, you probably get it, if you're going to get it a second-hand version, you could get it for as little as £7, I'm assuming, even though it's a top book, right? Now, this is the challenge, right? It takes massive marketing, and I want us to understand why a lot of us are broke. It takes some serious marketing, right, to sell one copy of this book. It takes massive marketing to sell one copy of this book. Especially in today's market where there's so much noise. Every day, new people are publishing their books, and it's all being flooded onto the internet. It's all being flooded onto social media. So many books are published, and that means that it's a very rowdy and crowded marketplace. So to get noticed is very expensive. Now, if you can't make more than £10 from the sale of a book, and it costs you up to maybe £20 to market the book to get one sale, then a lot of people are going to struggle. And so then what do we resort to? Then you and I, we have no choice. We have to resort to looking for free ways to market our book. And so we do things like we reach out to our friends and we ask them to spread the word for us. We go into, we do those free methods that we can, because we can't afford, we can't afford to compete to invest in advertising our book, because there's just the margins are very low. And so we have to resort to, and some of us are very good at that, some guerrilla marketing tactics, like reaching out to friends and family, getting them to promote the book, and doing all these wonderful things to help us at least get some traction. At the end of the day, you might sell 100 books. Now, by the way, if you sell 100 books, that is amazingly brilliant. Right? If anybody here sells 100 books, I need you to understand you've done a brilliant job. Okay, so don't feel bad about it. But if you sell 100 books and a book is maybe, I don't know, 1,000 naira, for example, and you sell 100, well, you made 100,000 naira, which is not bad, right? But after that, what next? So you've done everything you can do with your friends and family, with the relationships you have, and you've tapped into your network and pushed the book, and you sold 100, which is unusual but brilliant. You make 100,000 that month. What happens next month? Therein lies the problem. Now, the reality for a lot of people is, we might not sell 100. It might be 70, some 50, some 30, some maybe even 20, and you put in all that work. And remember, there's the cost to publish the book as well, right? And so for that reason, a lot of people struggle and a lot of people are broke. Now, in fact, these days, what we tend to do, the new goal that most authors have right these days is to become what we call an Amazon bestseller. A lot of people, their goal next year as a writer is, next year, my goal is to become an Amazon best-selling author. You know what? To be sincere, that's a good goal to have. It's a good goal to have. It comes with a lot of prestige, which is brilliant. You know what? You can have beside your name, Amazon best-selling author. Absolutely brilliant. All right. Now, how do you do this? And you don't need to invest in any course on how to become an Amazon best-selling author. I can tell you what you need to do to become an Amazon best-selling author. Number one, go onto Amazon and look for a category that your book can fit into that is not very popular, right? And then over a window of a few days, price your book from free to $99 or less, right? And then reach out to all of your friends and family and beforehand, as many people as possible, and ask them to reach out to all of their friends and family. And over a short window, we're going to do a big push, literally just messaging a lot of people and putting in that effort, and have about 50 people buy your book. If you get about 50 people buy your book in that short window of maybe a couple of days, right, you most likely will become an Amazon best-selling author, which is brilliant, right? Now, you probably will make about $50 minus fees, right? And you'll get the prestige of being an exclusive Amazon best-selling author, but you're still going to be broke, right? You're still going to be broke. That's the reality. Now, so what is a better approach? And I'm going to spend the next 5 minutes explaining this to you, because this is really what I'm going to suggest you do as we go into 2018, right? What you want to do is you want to use your book as what we call a low-hanging fruit. So that book that you have written already, or that book that you plan to write soon, you want to use that book as what we call a low-hanging fruit. Now, let me just help you understand the principle of the low-hanging fruit. So Imagine you're walking past a mango tree. You're walking past a mango tree. You're walking along, just walking along, and then you come across this mango tree, right? And you probably would have walked past it. However, right in front of you, as you're walking, right in front of you, before your very eyes, is a mango hanging from the tree. It's just there. It's just there. You literally can see that mango right now. So it's not going to take a lot of effort. It's just a small effort to lift up your hand and grab that mango, right? And grab that mango, right? Now you grab that mango, right? And if you're like me, you won't even bother washing it, right? And then you just put it in your mouth and you taste it. The juiciness, especially if it's one of those cherry mangoes, right? The juiciness and all of that just oozing in, and it's a nice, plump, fresh mango. And you're walking past, but as you're just taking it in, you just think to yourself, I could do with some more of these mangoes. And then someone gives you a stick and say, you know what, you can buy this stick from me and use this stick to pluck some of those mangoes. And you can see a little further up are a few mangoes. And so you buy that stick, right? The person was literally standing beside you there. You buy the stick and you go there and you start to pluck mangoes. And you plucked a few. You're really enjoying yourself, right? You're enjoying these mangoes. And then along the way, you look up and you see there's a bunch of mangoes at the very top there. If only I could get to the top of the tree, right? I'll have enough mangoes for the whole month. And then someone comes along and says, hey, you know what? You can buy this ladder from me, climb up to the top, and you can get mangoes, right, for the whole month. And you look up there, you see the mangoes, and you buy the ladder from the person, give them your money, and then climb up the tree, and you literally feast on mangoes for a whole month. Now, all that ladder, the stick, and the load of mangoes it all began with that mango that was just right before your eyes as you were walking past, minding your business. That initial mango was a low-hanging fruit, which basically triggered, right, everything else that followed. That is what your book should be like. That is what your book should be. Your book is an amazing experience that is easily accessible, that opens doors to greater experiences. Let me say that again. What is your book? Your book is an amazing experience that is easily accessible. So for 500 naira to maybe 2,000 naira, but it opens the door to greater experiences. Basically, what am I saying here? Right? So the name of the book is the Accelerated Learning Handbook. The Accelerated Learning Handbook, right? Now, this book here is an amazing experience that is easily accessible, but it's from a business perspective, its job is to open the door to greater experiences. So the music industry is very similar to the writing industry, right? Look at the most popular musicians, the big ones, the ones who are really making money, right? It's not necessarily from CD sales that they make their money, right? Their music is on YouTube for free. People can listen to their music on YouTube for free. The music isn't really in the CD sales. But what they understand is, if we can just have people experience our awesomeness at minimal cost, so you buy a CD and you buy all that, then we can get people to pay a lot more money to attend a gig. So people attend the concerts and they get paid a lot of money to do concerts. They get paid a lot of money to attend birthdays and weddings and parties and what have not. And not only that, they then get endorsements. They get endorsements, right? Because of the credibility they have built in their space. It's the same thing with your book. Now, so basically, to summarize this, because we're going to be ending this right now, we're going to come back next Sunday, and I'm going to really just move on. I'm going to be with you on Sunday, same time, 8 p.m. Nigerian time, 7 p.m. UK time, and we're going to be moving it forward. So this is the key thing I want to leave with you today. You know, and Mecca kind of talked about this earlier, right? And that is your book is at the front. You know, people are used to spending up to 2,000 naira, 500 naira, 1,000 naira, 3,000 naira on a book. We're used to that, right? But instead of just selling your book and focusing on driving your book, right? Imagine having a profit machine behind your book. The same way the singer knows that if people can just play their CDs and buy their CDs really cheap, buy their singles really cheap, and then behind the CD, right, is other stuff. Behind the CD is people actually paying to attend their concerts. Behind the CD, am I frozen? It looks like I'm frozen. My screen seems frozen. Okay, good, I'm back. All right, so it's the CD first. Behind the CD is concerts where people pay a lot of money to attend concerts. Behind that is people are paying money to have you come and sing at their birthdays and at their weddings and at their parties. And then behind that is the endorsements where banks and other companies are using you to promote their brands, and you're making a truckload of money. All of that is behind that cheap CD. It's the same thing with a book, right? It's going to be very, very hard looking to make money off of a book. What you can do with a book, though, is establish amazing credibility and authority, and then have the book ahead of other stuff that really escalate and make you money. And I'm going to be driving a lot deeper on that next week when we get together Sunday. So lock it in, Sunday, 8 p.m. Nigerian time, 7 p.m. UK time. We're going to get together same time. So lock it in, right? And I'm going to really just break down what that process, what that funnel looks like, so that you can do that for you and your business in 2018. Yes, how can you get a copy of Mecca? You can get it on Amazon, I believe. The author's name is Dave Mayer. That's Dave, D-A-V-E-M, Mayer, M-E-I-E-R, right? So if you run training programs, good book to get. Accelerated Learning Handbook. Awesome. So our job is for them to come and experience our awesomeness, brilliance. Make people experience your worth at very little, and they come for the big thing. Now, it's not that they come. I just want to clarify something, Amanda. That's a brilliant point. But it's not that they come, because you've got to have a system that takes them through the process. It's not like if I just have people buy my book, then they're going to come back for more. No, it doesn't work that way. Right? But instead, what we do is we have a system that intentionally moves them along, right? So it's a system that intentionally moves them along. So we build a predictable, profitable system, okay? And that I'm going to be expanding on that predictable, profitable system. That's useful, folks. Thanks a lot. You are all awesome. I've absolutely enjoyed this. I've overrun by about 10 minutes. Just under 10 minutes, but I'm well, 8 minutes, whatever. But I've loved this, and I hope this has been good. If you're watching the replay back, leave a comment anyways. I appreciate you. For all of you who showed up live, you're all awesome. And let's make 2008 the year where we turn things around, where we really stand out from the masses, right? 2018 is the year of standing out from the masses. Let your brilliance shine, and let your bank account reflect that. That's what it's all about. Keep on being awesome, and God bless you all. And lovely. Yes, I shall see you. Oh, awesome. Jamaican time, though. That's brilliant. Way to go. Way to go. Awesome. You guys are awesome. Have a good one. Thanks. And thanks, Emeka, for having me come along and do this. You're brilliant.